Greetings, beloveds. Beloveds, if you allow yourself to remember our friendships, if you allow yourself to remember that we have traveled with each other through time and space, that we have traveled with each other through dimensions, that we have traveled with each other through existences, through planets and stars, and we have taken on so many forms. There are the beings that you have immediate resonance with, and it is if you have come across a long lost friend, and then there will be that being that you say, why do I despise this person? Why do I feel like they are my enemy? Why do I feel such hatred and rage from them? And why do I fear them? Beloveds, these are all the relational contracts. These are all the relational dynamics that you have chosen to perpetuate so that you can bring yourself back to this fundamental truth of your own divinity. So as beloved Jill has spoken, when you come across a person who rattles your cage, someone who brings you to ire, use them as a catalyst for your own divinity. Use them as a catalyst to say, what is it within them? So Hannah Grace read a story that had caused her tremendous pain yesterday of a woman who had sold her young daughter to a man who then abused the girl every way imaginable and then killed her. And rather than take responsibility for what she had done, this woman reported the child as missing. And so Hannah Grace felt the pain of the child. She felt the pain of the mother. She felt the energy of the rapist. And then she had to look within. She found herself going into a thinking of, how could people be so cruel? How could people be so mean? And all we did was ask her, have you ever done such a thing? And she allowed herself to remember a lifetime in which she had been in the role of each of these beings. And there was able to be peace, and there was able to be forgiveness for having chosen this. When she saw the story, she wanted to skim past it, but we recommended that she allow herself to dive into the pain, to the feeling, to the depth of this emotion. And it was quite traumatic for her at an egoic level. But when she allowed herself to come into a place of forgiveness, when she allowed herself to see where she herself had perpetuated this dynamic and understood that this was being brought to her as a memory, something that seemed so brutal, she could forgive her own brutality. She could allow herself to feel the dynamics of what it was to be a victim in that circumstance, what it was to be an accomplice in that circumstance, what it was to be the perpetrator in that circumstance. And it rattled her deeply. And there was an extraordinary lesson of forgiveness that came forth from this for her. Beloveds, find that which you flinch from, that which you wish to deny, that you have created a cold shoulder towards. Oh, I'm casting that person out of my life. They are responsible for their own existence. It has nothing to do with me. Beloveds, it has everything to do with you. There is no one, there is nothing, there is no circumstance that shows up into your consciousness that you are not 100% responsible for creating. Now, being able to live that as an ascended master, being able to understand that and to experience that when you are still mired in a third dimensional egoic reality that depends upon time so that you may learn these lessons, beloved, it seems like it is the distance of your Grand Canyon, and not from shore to shore, but from the length. Beloveds, it feels as if it is, we might as well say to you, take a journey to the moon or to the sun or to another galaxy. But you have within each of you the capacity and the ability, through being willing to forgive, to step one iota closer to your own Christ of beingness. Every time that you go into meditation, every time that you apply love's breath, we do indeed love the term for this. Every time that you are willing to breathe underneath the egoic structure, what will come to the surface, beloveds, are the pebbles that you have dropped. And the pebbles have gathered, and suddenly you have a boulder. And you begin this dismantling, beloveds, of these rocks and pebbles and boulders that have impeded the flow of Christ's energy to move within and through you. And you say, ah, here is a glimmer of what it is to be as God created me, not which I have designed with my egoic mind. And you come forth triumphant for saying, ah, yes, here is where I can forgive. And here is where I can be grateful for these beings that were willing to represent to me aspects of myself that I had wished to keep buried in the darkness. In the darkness, beloveds, the light is inherent, and in the light, darkness is inherent. It is that gorgeous yin yang symbol that you know so well. It is the dance between the masculine and the feminine. It is the dance between who you are and who you think you are. We are friends, beloveds. We know each other so well. Use each other to continue to walk into the light, to make your way back to the kingdom, and to awaken from the slumber that has been self-imposed. Indeed, we are delighted to be with you. We are with you always, as we have been. Mhm. Call upon us, beloveds, when you need our assistance, and know that we will always be with you. I love you, and I will indeed speak with you again.